the secrets behind a purpose-driven business. Let's get into it. So today, I'm going to tell you how I started 2 successful businesses online and in person. And each one had a different mission. The first one I started was purely out of passion for helping people understand that we can help them with their bodies. And it was because I started it because I was a Pilates instructor way before then. And I kept hearing that people had problems, that people kept having leakage problems and no one was solving it. And so I saw that there was a gap. I just saw there was an opportunity and a gap. And when you can see that there's an opportunity and a gap, that is when you win in the marketplace. And I saw that early on before many people. And I was like, well, why don't I become a pelvic floor therapist so that I can help these people out? And so 15 years ago, maybe even 16 years ago now, I actually started to become a pelvic floor therapist. And it was one of the first to combine orthopedics and pelvic health, which is why I called my company Ortho Pelvic Physical Therapy, because I was combining it. Most people were just putting pelvic health in a box or orthopedic in a box, but they weren't combining it. And I really was the first to take and combine both of those together because I saw another gap that it actually wasn't that different. It was just more or less of the same thing because muscle's a muscle, a nervous system's a nervous system, and you had to put all the pieces of the puzzle together to truly make it happen. So my purpose of really starting and elevating this business was to actually help people that felt like they didn't have answers. They weren't seen. The doctors didn't know what to do with them. And I was tired of hearing in my Pilates classes over and over and over again that we can't help you. I don't know what to do. Like someone would break their tailbone and the doctor would just be like, go home, sit on a donut. Like that's not helpful. It's not actually helping the problem. And so I was like, well, why don't I actually do that? And so that was my mission, is to help people that felt like they have seen 7 different doctors, been on a journey, and then there's not one person giving a solution. I had my own health scare when I was in Portland, Oregon, right before my wedding. I was having massive heart palpitations, but like it was different. It wasn't racing. It was where I felt like my heart was stopping and I couldn't get enough oxygen to my body. And it almost felt like if I was going to go to bed at night, that I just wouldn't wake up because my heart just was not beating correctly. And it all started after a dental procedure. And I believe I got endocarditis. They don't think that that's the case, but I am 99% sure that's what it was. And there was some kind of infection that probably went to my heart and caused these issues to happen. That being said, it cost me $10,000 to wear a heart rate or a heart monitor, and that's monitored by an MD for a whole month. I had to wear that. I had to go to a naturopath doctor. I had to go to all this specialist. Make a long story short, we never figured out what it was. The dentist denied it. And no other person could really figure it out. It caused me to have digestive issues. It caused me not to be able to work out the way I wanted to. And it was just a whole hot mess. And it really exposed, that was the first time that it really exposed the medical system for me and how it operated. And I worked in Portland, Oregon, where I worked with very low income clients that lived in vans or lived on the street. And I had a client, I will never forget this. I had a client that was having the same heart issues as me. And she got the same heart monitor, didn't have to pay a dime. And I'm over here working, 10-hour days, struggling, $230K of student loan debt. And I couldn't afford this medical procedure either, but I had to pay as much as I possibly could in installments and work even more jobs just so I could pay for this heart monitor. And she was over there getting it for free. She was also getting free physical therapy services, free chiropractor services, and free acupuncture, because that's just how it is in the state, in Portland. So they give free services, which is amazing. But you also are like, wow, I am working my butt off. What am I doing wrong? And, they don't have to do that. And so it really exposed, even with insurance, because I never was sick, so I never really had to use insurance. But even with insurance, how much money had to come out of my pocket before insurance was even going to kick in. And so I had this like mentality of, I'm going to help these people no matter what, whether or not insurance is going to pay for this or not. And it was just a mission of mine because of the past of when they couldn't figure out this medical issue with my heart. And my mom does, and my mom's sister, we all have a heart genetic defect. I don't know if I have it or not. They won't test me because, again, I wasn't having those kind of symptoms, like a heart attack symptom. But anyways, make a long story short, that really exposed how sucky insurance-based care was, and that I wasn't getting answers. And even when I went outside that care, I still saw that no one was talking to each other and no one was putting the pieces of the puzzle together to actually cultivate a answer for patients. And I actually was one of those patients. And so that was my driving force to really help people that have the chronic pelvic pain that have no answers, that have been to every specialist and still have no answers. And it's because what I realized is these specialists are just stuck in their realm and they're not thinking outside the box. And they don't have time to connect all the dots. And they also believe, well, if I go outside my realm, well, that's going outside of like what I should be doing. And then I'm going to be criticized for that. And it's like, no, you know more than 99% of people. Let's put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Let's put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And if not, refer to someone so that we can put the puzzle pieces together and actually talk to them. And so that was my first mission of why I started OrthoPelvic. Then as I started getting into that mission started to fade as I really started to treat lots and lots of patients, because another passion and mission came up. And I think this one was just deep inside of me, and I didn't realize that I was holding on to it. And it was to truly help women in business to make the money that they want to make, get the time that they want to make, and really live a life that they wanted to have. And I look back and I really think it all comes from having a single mom with not a lot of money and watching her struggle with 4 jobs every single working 4 jobs every single year after year to just be able to afford, money for my cheerleading uniform or be able to afford gas for my car or whatever it might have been. And I didn't want someone else to have to go through that pain, because I experienced from when I was a child, and I saw my mom just experience. She didn't say anything to me. She never would say anything to me. I would just see her struggle. And I never, ever wanted to be in that position, ever. And I didn't want another woman to be in that position. And so I really think it's deeply embedded that I want every single woman to succeed in motherhood, if they have children, in life, in themselves, and be the best versions of themselves, and truly not let anything hold them back. Truly allow them to have the sky as a limit, truly be able to embody what it is that they want to become. And I know there's a variety of things that people want to become, but ultimately, most of us want our time. Most of us just want to not have to worry about when we go to the grocery store, how am I going to pay for that? Or if we do get that surprise medical bill, how the heck am I going to pay for that? And so for me, PelviBiz was born because it was such a clear vision of why I wanted to help these people. And I can honestly tell you this, out of the 4 years I've been doing PelviBiz, I have taken the money and reinvested it back into PelviBiz. I have not taken money from PelviBiz, and the reason why is because I have such a mission and a purpose. So I don't mind working 15-hour days and just working on it because it's such a passion and mission of mine to help these people and not get paid for it. And that's what I want for you guys. If you guys have a business that you could work, I'm not saying, all the time, by the way, okay? But that you can work 15-hour days and not freaking get tired of it and not feel like, I hate this. Then you have found yourself, congrats, you have found yourself a purpose-driven business. And when you find that, it is like gold because you're so freaking passionate about it. It doesn't matter the money, it doesn't matter the time. It matters how much impact you freaking have. And when you have the impact, it just lights you on fire to keep going and wanting to do the thing and help the people and wanting them to succeed. And when they succeed, it's like you have won the lottery. That's what keeps you going every single day. When you see your clients succeeding and you're like, yes, they've gotten to their freaking goal. Like, I'm so freaking proud of that. And that's why for every single one of you guys trying to build a business, you got to know what lights you on fire. And it's not just like, well, hey, I just want to make money. That's only going to take you so far. And by the way, that will create a business for you, but it's not going to sustain and create a lasting business for you. What will create a lasting business is something that's going to actually have a purpose behind it. And Pelvi Biz's purpose is to empower females, empower women to live the best life that they want. And that is what we're so driven. We're leaders. We're ambitious. We want to make money and we want to own our freaking time. That's what Pelvi Biz stands for. And that is what I'm here to do. I'm not here to only give you tactile, but I'm here to change you. I'm here to change your mind. I'm going to change your body, change your mindset, change your family's life, change the people around you's life. That is what Pelvi Biz stands for. And this is the passion that you get when it comes to a purpose-driven business. And if y'all are sitting here right now like, wow, I don't have that fire that she's got, well, then you got to dig deep and figure out what freaking lights you on fire. What is it? Because if it doesn't, then you got to do something else. Or you're going to just hate your life and hate what you do, and you may make money, great, but like ultimately you're not going to be happy. I've been there, done it. And by the way, this stuff can change. It doesn't always have to be like, I had a very big purpose for orthopelvic. Like I was really wanting to help those patients and I did that. But then I grew out of that. And it really came about helping females in business, meaning I just wanted to help them in life situations and get them unstuck if they felt like they were unstuck, whether or not that's unstuck with confidence, get them unstuck with purpose, get them unstuck in a life situation that they were in. And be able to get them to see that they can get out of any situation possible and live the freaking life that they want. That's key. And this is what it's like to feel a mission-based business. So if you guys have questions, you can always send me a DM at Pelvi Biz, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.